Howdy folks, here we are in one of my fields. Is the first to get turned over this year, and they turn it over really good. This is not no-till. They actually disc this up, so I'm getting up on top of this hill a little bit. There's some of this stuff I've never walked. It's a big old field. Actually, several of them. I've only got about an hour, so I'm going to give it a quick look around. I've walked about 70 yards to get in the field here, and I haven't really seen much. But it's pretty interesting how deep it's been turned over, especially on these terraces. There'll be something out here to find, so this may be a several day deal. I just don't have much time today, but I'm glad to be back out here. It's been a week since I've been hunting. I've been busy. So stay tuned. Just DW Verts, Hickbilly Outdoors. Let's see if we can find us something. I don't know what this is. It's something interesting. I don't know what the heck. I can see it's been hit on. Oh my gosh, look at that big old... My gosh, it is nothing but a massive flake. Again, there's that bulb of percussion. It was knocked off the rock, being held just like that. That is some fantastic looking material though, but I don't, without cleaning it up, I don't see it working that was ever anything. I can't believe it, some of the little stuff I found, but man, that's a big old thing. I'm going to keep that one for the rock garden or something. So since I'm kind of hoofing along here, I thought it might be time to share an arrowhead hunt story of one of my better days that I've ever had. After I check this out, whatever this is. Almost every time I'm finding a rock, it's been whacked on. That one's a piece of something. 1993, September. That was the year of the great zillion-year flood. If any of y'all remember, the Midwest got wiped out by torrential rains all spring and summer. And the creeks and rivers hit all kinds of record highs. And the Missouri and Mississippi River, of course, tied together right here in Missouri. And it was a mess. I mean, it changed the landscape. And look at that. Nice, another big old flake. Not really worked edge, but look at that big old thing. Maybe we'll get into something. Anyway, so, pretty serious arrowhead guy, older gentleman I knew, called me. It was after Labor Day that year, and he asked for when to go up to a place we'd hunted before. He said the river, two rivers come together up there before they get to Missouri. He said that they had changed a bunch of stuff around. It blew a bunch of mud around. It changed some directions, some of the feeder creeks, and he thought it'd be a good time to go look. I said, that sounds like a good plan. So we get up there, and we pull in by this field entrance. We look down towards where a ditch hit one of the little rivers. I say little rivers. There's two rivers come together there before they got to the Missouri. And there was a wall of mud and trees and big old roots piled up across the field. It's about 175 yards down his two-track. I looked down through there, I looked back at Glenn and said, Glenn, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Well, Glenn was quite a bit older than me and has eyes I have now probably. He said, no. I said, I can't believe I'm seeing what I'm seeing. What I was seeing in that big old wadded up mud, it was so 12, 16 foot high in places, was white dots, or light colored dots. I said, those look like arrowheads, look like points. He said, you're not seeing from here. I said, Glenn, I think I am. Well, I was. The creek that came in the ditch there, where it hit the river, had been cut out and moved and changed, and just, it was amazing. But what it had done, it pushed a bunch of trees off through the middle of this field. The guy lost about a third of that field. and it was wadded up, pretty black, solid mud. Oh my gosh, my story's getting interrupted. Look at this. Would you look at that? Holy smokes. I can't believe I don't have to carry that. Look at the flakes drawn off that thing. I can't really tell if that's a worked edge or not. I mean, of course it is worked. I'll be dadgum. That's one ugly, cool looking piece of Burlington shirt. Okay, I'm gonna be walking sideways with that thing wedged in my pocket. That's just cool. Maybe I'm getting into stuff. I see some white dots over there. Anyway, white dots, that's what I'm talking about. So we walk in at 175 yards, and that wadded up mud and tree roots and just a big mountain of junk was filled with points, with projectile points. I think I pulled 153 points out of all that between two of us, or 155. I think it's 153, mostly Sedalia and Etley points, which is what we have a lot of around here. But there was, I think, 6 or 7 different kinds of points. Almost everything was perfect, whole, big. I mean, this big stuff, 5.5, 6 inch long points. That massive amount of water had changed the landscape so much. Boy, look at that. We had a heyday. We weren't equipped for it. When we left, 2.5 hours later, it was getting on towards evening. We got a late start that day. When we left, I could still see things I couldn't reach. I tried mountain climbing, tried getting on Glenn's shoulders. I was a little bit skinnier then, but anyway, it was amazing. And there was points in the ground around. It was, and a debitage, and so I guess maybe some sort of encampment there had been close to the mouth of that ditch and the creek and the river right there nearby, and another river just a half mile down the road where they all come together. Anyway, it's pretty amazing. So we left. Landowner wasn't home. Talked to his wife. Glenn called landowner that night, said we couldn't be back that next day. We'd come back in a couple of days. Told him what we'd found. Guy was pretty excited for us. He was always into things we found. And another big old chunk. Look out. I don't know if y'all can see all the wax on that. Ugly, but yep. We're getting a little bit more stuff here. So anyway, there you go. 153 projectile points. Seriously, up to, I think the biggest one today was 6 1/4, 6.5 inches long. Had several Etleys, 4.5 to 5.5 inches. Some Smetleys, Smith Etley hybrids. I think we had, that's the first time I knew what that was. We didn't call it that then, but it was a hybrid. And a couple Hardens, an Afton. I still have a notebook somewhere with all of it wrote down. So anyway, we made plans. I had to work because that's what people like me have to do, support the people that don't. We made plans to go up 3 days later, or 2 full days later, whatever it was. Glenn called me the next evening. Said, Dale, I got bad news. I said, what's that, Glenn? He said, we're not going to be able to go back. What? Apparently, this landowner told his son-in-law. His son-in-law went down there and he laid claim to it. Landowner said he couldn't go against family. I don't have a clue. Never went back up there till about 9 or 10 years ago. I drove down that gravel road and all that stuff had been dozed back flat and made in the field again. I stopped at the house. Nobody was there. So anyway, that's the story. I've got another story kind of like that. I got several stories like that, I guess. But for major amounts of points, which is why you always keep looking. You never know when that could happen again. Look at that thing. Oh my gosh, look at that. Big old tool. Ugly, but that's what it is. This is crazy. Big old flakes and tools and stuff. So, okay, I'm gonna turn this thing back off until I find something for real. That's real. That's cool. Well, for what it's worth, I am in the heart of it here as far as worked Burlington chert. I've never seen so much in my life. Big old hit-on cores. I'm really very surprised I haven't found a piece that's more like a point or a worked, completely worked tool type piece instead of something big and crazy. I mean, see, that big, it's been hit on. Flakes drawn off. Everywhere I look, something like that. Never seen so much Burlington chert in all my years. So, am I getting closer? I'm definitely better off than I was a quarter mile back the other way. So, the problem is, man, I'm almost half mile from a truck, and I got to start heading back. I've got to get to my real job. But I think I've got into something here. There's so much more to walk, and I am just really not even, I mean, I haven't walked a percent of a percent. I've just been kind of wandering around. I just cannot believe all this worked Burlington chert. A little more rain on this won't hurt anything either, but I really was hoping to find y'all something. It's just everywhere. I don't know if I'm on the edge, the flat up there where the farm is and stuff is probably the best, where it's a little flatter. There's an awful lot of gravel in that. See, that's just strange. It's almost like creek gravel. I don't get that. Unless it was, potentially, this was a mound, I guess. See, this thing's been turned over for so many years. It's not Burlington. Just city chert. Anyway, it's been turned over for so many years, there's just no telling. This could be the edge of a mound, I guess. I can't read it anymore. But it very likely could be. Look at that. It goes up there, and of course the house and everything right on top of it. That'd explain all the creek gravel, because the creek is, man, 3/4 mile away. It never was up here, I'm pretty sure. So, quick update. I'm going to have to turn around and head back in a minute. I'm pretty excited about this. I have not even found a broken point. I haven't found a real, work down tool yet. The stuff to look at is amazing. It's just every inches right here, there's something that's been hit on, napped on, work. So, we're getting a little bit closer.